So it's probably evened out in the end.
You know, I want to go for a moment to Dr. Sandeep Shastri. He's been waiting on for a long time. Dr. Shastri, can we make, you know, the 42 seats where the margin is less than 1,000, do they become critical, or is a clear trend now being established? Do you see this as perhaps a vindication of what some have been saying? Look closely at others, look closely at the women vote, then you may get a slightly different picture, the so-called X factors.
Rajdeep, the fact that the margins are very close in 42 seats should caution us to conclude that the verdict seems to be in a particular direction or one of the alliances is likely to win. I think the race is still close. If you look at the vote share we predicted in the exit polls, there also it was close. So I think the race is still on. It may be a little premature at this stage even to say that the trend is in a particular direction. I think it could swing either way. And as you said, very crucial here is A, the women vote, 2, the youth vote, and what a lot of other commentators have been stressing, what happened in the last phase of election.
Okay.
Did you see a consolidation by the NDA, and did you see a split of the anti-NDA vote? I think this is something that we need to keep in mind.
Let's consider what could change. You know, at the end of the day, we're at the, I would say, at the 8-over mark in a T20 game. So you've got 12 overs still to go. A lot can change, but what can change? At best, the RJD has to make a strong comeback in its Kosi Simanchal belt, and the JDU-RJD contest has to get one-sided.
Yes.
The BJP is clearly holding its own against the Congress. I don't see that changing. Even when you look at the 42 seats, Rahul, where the margin is 1,000 and less, most of them are these RJD, JDU, very tight.
Can I show you some more? For the first time, I'm pulling out the Chirag card. Okay, I'll just explain the logic behind this analytics, and then you will be able to appreciate what it suggests. Here we're looking at the number of seats where the gap between the candidate who's leading and the candidate who's runner-up is less than the number of votes being pulled by the LJP. So where the LJP candidate's presence is making an impact, there to what extent is he influencing the verdict? 6 of those losses currently are in the NDA's quota, 11 of them are in the RJD plus's quota, 6 for the RJD, 5 for the Congress. So it's not as if the Chirag card has only swung against the NDA. You also got seats where you've got the RJD that's being impacted by the margin that Chirag Paswan is pulling. Let's look at the tug-of-war, direct fights, 2 parties, direct fights. Let's take it one by one. Here's the big one, BJP versus RJD. 60 such leads available at this moment, 22 of them currently being led by the RJD, 38% being led by the BJP, which means if anybody thought that the BJP would lose at the hands of the RJD, the data so far suggests that that's not the case. From what we can see on the basis of the numbers, 63% of the contests in a direct fight between the RJD and the BJP are currently in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. After this, I come to JDU versus RJD. 65 such contests. Here, you've got a neck-and-neck fight. 49% is the strike rate for the JDU, 51% is the strike rate for the RJD. This is one of the stories of the trend so far. If you thought that Nitish Kumar and his candidates would lie and fall and pretend to be dead, that's not happening in this election. They are fighting in the counting that we've seen so far. Here is the other one, BJP versus the Congress. There it's a whitewash. The Congress being hammered by the BJP. 35 such leads at the moment. 26 of those in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. 74% of the BJP candidates, when they are taking on a Congress candidate in a neck-and-neck, in a direct fight, those BJP candidates are winning. Finally, JDU versus the Congress. 27 such leads available at the moment. 59% of them in favor of the JDU, 41% in favor of the Congress. That's the other thing.
That last chart is, according to me, key, because those 28 seats, if the Congress cannot best the JDU, that means there is no major anti-incumbency against the JDU, because that means that the JDU